Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. And guys, welcome to another install by Off-Grid Contracting. David, I want to say thank you for letting us have the business. And
definitely.
Come do the install.
Definitely.
Today, David is going to show you one of the most awesome tiny houses I've ever seen built. He's built a U-Haul kind of truck with slide outs, and it's amazing. So I'm going to let him take you on a tour of his tiny home, and then following that, we'll show you the solar install from the top down. So that said, let's take a look at it now.
It's hard to get an angle that it's a truck, but this is a fold-down porch roof. The porch folds up, these legs fold up into the roof, and then the roof flips down, which I have some solar panels on now. And we got an outdoor area for the solar power system, the inverter, the batteries. I thought I was going to need at least 6 batteries, but I'm informed I need 2, so I'm really happy about that. And a lot of this is my own invention. I'm kind of making it up as I go along. I still have a lot of air gaps to fill in and whatever, but I really wanted a Dutch French door, or a French Dutch door. A Dutch door is where you have the top opens and the bottom stays shut, and a French door is where both doors open. And then these are also going to be an herb garden inside here before I seal it up. I've been carrying around these bubble windows for about 10 years looking for something to do with them. And I've got a series of slide outs. I have a really different slide out. We'll take you around and show you the outside, but here's the first one. It'll be the kitchen. I'm going to have the sink and the stove here. I just built this bar with a butcher block and spice rack. Everything's going to be all built in. I want the whole ceiling to be a giant pot rack. The whole area back here will be kitchen for cooking and eating. I'll be putting a table here, but this slide out basically is just a dinette. We're just going to have that cushioned, and there's storage space underneath. Yeah, I don't need all this wiring hanging around anymore because I'm on solar now. But built a closet in here over the wheel well. Originally, this was going to be my front door because RVs traditionally have a side door, but with this giant door in the back, I just closed this in and made it a closet. With the AC up above. Now this room is still open. There's going to be a wall right here, but this is my bathroom here, and it slides out. And this room is another box that will just be one big futon. Something important, I think, for tiny houses is the skylight. Gets the air flowing. You want a skylight that vents and opens because it gets the air flowing, and all air, even if all the hot air gets sucked upward. So that is a big point, I think, in a tiny house. Let's see, up in the roof I bumped up the ceiling about 4 feet, as much as I could on the U-Haul truck, so I have lots of attic space up here. And this is a contraption I've built to be a coffee table slash computer center slash stairs to the upstairs loft. And these are the lofts. My girlfriend and I have very different sleeping schedules, so we had 2 rooms with a padded wall in between us. So if you want to take a look in there, I put shelves in and everything. There's lots of storage space. There's closet space up in here. I don't know if you can see that with the camera. And then I'm building a built-in couch here. Now this is the U-Haul side of the truck. I haven't made it pretty yet. I think I'm gonna put a black spray rubber, the flex spray, over the whole thing, so it's just kind of rough and rugged, but all sealed up. Another thing I'm gonna do is, out of 2x12 boards, I'm gonna build a tree ram, because that's something that I've noticed with a lot of tiny housers. You think a lot about overpasses and being 13.5 feet high, but trees don't follow the road rules. They don't. I have already knocked one panel out pulling this out already. So a tree ram both in the front here and then over my skylight. I'm going to have a little lip so that a tree can bump up over it. And this shows you what I did for slide outs. This here is actually just part of this wall, and I have it hinged and it folds down, and then this is just a big box on wheels, so it rolls in and out. Very simple. So I just flip up the roof, flip down the cantilevered balcony, and all my slide outs are just boxes on wheels. Very simple. They have to be sealed in, obviously, but that's coming along. Now this box, most of the boxes they have the wheel on the box. I had built this box first, and I didn't put large enough wheels on it, so I built a set of rollers into the balcony. And the whole thing just rolls up onto wheels. And someday when I'm smart enough, I'll make it all automatic. Because as we get older, we might not be strong enough to pull our rooms out. But this is definitely the most space I have ever seen out of a U-Haul truck.
Alright guys, now at the top of the tiny house here you can see that we have polycrystalline panels starting with the large on the very, very top of the roof. And then we drop down to the monocrystallines. These both are Renogy's, the monos and the polys. That's what the customer had bought. We got the drops going right off the corner. And then he also had a Harbor Freight set, so we didn't waste that. We mounted that up too. And so that's all wired in down to the bottom. And now this is bracketed straight flat to the roof using the Renogy roof mounts as well. Now this one wire drop right here is going to be secured against the house later, but you can see right here that there's actually a cable that lifts his awning that we were standing in front of at the very beginning of the video. And so then right here it comes around and hooks to a winch that I'll actually step down between the cracks here on the panels, and you can see the winch right there. So really neat setup. I mean, not wasting any space. Now this right here is actually going to be covered over. That's going to be covered over with a rubber gasket or something to that effect, because the reason that we've done that is that to get up on the roof, it's actually going to be fixed where that you'll access the roof there. So don't want to be stepping on panels and stuff, so we're actually going to step across that. But that's the only thing that's exposed at the moment that, like I said, later can be covered with a rubber gasket or whatever he wants to cover that with, as far as walking across the access on the roof. But now with that said, let's walk downstairs and I'll show you inside the battery bank. Now guys, starting on the inside here, we've got a little bit more loom to go onto this, and the customer here is going to have the roof drop down, and David's going to tweak that how he wants there. But as far as the wiring coming in, they've got a little bit to do inside as far as the finishing on their construction. So this will actually be tucked up out of the way when the rest of the AC gets wired in. But for the DC coming in, we've got our disconnect boxes. Everything's coming into a disconnect box on each drop. So for every drop there's a disconnect box, then there's metal plate behind the Renogy charge controllers. Sorry about that. And behind the charge controller, we've got that affixed to the wall, and then that's dropping down into our batteries as so. Now the dump loads can be wired up later for a water heater, for DC lighting and so on. And then his Harbor Freight is mounted into the wall here so they can actually see the voltage output on the batteries at any given time, which is awesome. And right there's the battery bank, so later it can be expanded up on and just continue to drop down, drop down. And now this inverter is from Missouri Wind and Solar. It's Ames Power. It's a 2,000 watt pure sine wave inverter. Shipping is outstanding with Missouri Wind and Solar. They got this here overnight. I started this job the other day. I was going to be back on the job site today because we're so busy, and they were able to get that out here right away for them. Now it's got some remote ports. You can do a remote turn on for this switch. It's got a built-in breaker, the whole 9 yards. I'm going to turn on, and you know, you always want to show people that your install works. So there you go. That's running completely off the solar system right there, battery bank, and they'll be able to run their AC and other things like that. But that pretty much is as far as that goes right there with the solar. So David, I appreciate letting me come down. Man, this house, when you get done with this, we'll definitely have to come back and film it. I hope the solar system works out great for you.
I can't wait.
You've got so much room for expansion too, it's not even funny. So
the idea of running cold air off of the sun is just incredible. Absolutely incredible.
yeah, that should work out great for you.
Yeah.
And guys, if you want solar, if you want wind, hydro, you want any of that stuff off grid, please give us a yell at Off Grid Contract. And until we see you again here at Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope you have a most blessed day. And Yahushua.
Like, share, subscribe.